Hello and welcome to Wake Up and Smell the Mic S&P 500 review for Friday, January 13th, 2023. It's now the 12th. We start off in the S&P 500 daily chart and DeMark looking back to end of December 21. I'll zoom into the current area now. The S&P 500 has printed the combo and sequential sell setup 5 count in the daily chart. And to negate that for end of day on the 13th, there must be a close below 3892.09 for the price flip to the buy setup count 1. And that makes it halfway to the 9 sell setup end count. So being over halfway to set up 9 end count means that it's tougher to lose the count to a buy setup. Now there's more at stake. And price had a high of 3997.76. That qualified supply projection is at 3997.30. And the relative retracement at 3998.51, so it really hit that wall today and then retreated a little bit, not too bad. Hit a close of 3983.17. And the danger for getting a qualified levels is to the downside. So with a close under 3983.17 for end of day on the 13th, and the trend factor down 1 becomes qualified, keep going, get under 2, and that's qualified. Ongoing demand line, get under that, it's qualified. And then this is the biggest level of all 3 of those that I just mentioned, the 50% disqualified momentum down, get under that for end of day Friday. That's a pretty big deal. And getting this trend factor disqualified down 1, qualified and confirmed eventually. Tomorrow it would just be possibility of a qualification. If it gets qualified and confirmed, then we'd have to think about price headed back to trend factor disqualified down 2. The daily dollar chart shows that price went past this 102.68 line that I have the blue circles at and almost went down to 101. So that would be the next target, 101.42, and if it really starts sinking below that, then we're going back to this double bottom where I entered the US dollar. And here's Martin Pring's dollar diffusion indicator. We don't show this too often. And we're looking for crossovers above the EMA 21 in red, and especially below 0. They can be very powerful when it does cross above it. We don't care too much about the crossovers to the downside. You can see this one well above 0, the crossover to the upside, and it brought a uptrend a few bars later. And it looked like it was bottoming and had a slight V here, and then it turned and went back down for some more downside. So it's going to be a while yet before we get that crossover to the upside. And the short-term KST went underneath its signal line. It hit 0 from the bottom and glanced off of 0 and started heading down. And that's for some very powerful moves to the downside when that happens. The intermediate term KST looks like it's rolling over and wants to cross under its signal line. And the long-term KST has already been in a serious downtrend. So now we'll be looking for the long-term KST to start giving indications of hooking around and heading back up towards its signal line. The S&P 500 support and resistance levels big board chart shows the gray areas at the daily Bollinger Band upper band, 200 moving average, the pivot point, and trend factor down 1. And price in the aftermarket hours for the S&P 500 on the 12th at 9:32 p.m. is 39.73. And to the upside is the 200 EMA, the relative retrace up 1. And now we're going into the 4,000 area. Conversion line 26 bars back concerning the lagging line, the downtrend line from 01/04/2022, and R1 to the downside is the top of the cloud 39.54, then the weekly Bollinger Band midband and the daily baseline. And as long as price stays above or near the daily baseline and weekly conversion line at the same price, I'll be buying dips and then looking to jettison things if it makes it under this level over here and here. I gave this one a downtrend support here in red. And yeah, if it makes it beneath these in a sustained manner, then I'll be selling. Till then, I'm buying as long as it stays above this level here. And I really thought that the NASDAQ 100 would make it well above its 21 EMA signal line, but it's having a hard time moving up. And that's part of that NYA to SPX ratio. Here's the daily NYA to SPX ratio, and I thought it would make it past this second red line here at 3.97 right here. It doesn't really line up with the exact number in the thumbnail, but if it makes it under there, I thought it would get down to the top of this ascending triangle that it has broken out of and then bounce from there. But it is really having a hard time going anywhere, and value is still trouncing growth. So that means it's really not that far above its 21 EMA signal line, but nonetheless is above it. The S&P 500 daily AD line is faring much better. It's well above its 21 EMA signal line. And the PPO extreme level is above zero at positive 0.07%. And the New York traditional McClellan breath oscillator to get back to zero would require 5,239 decliners over advancers, so it's getting well overbought, but can still move up. I looked back in the past at some of the saved data for this, and it can make it up well past 6,000, almost to 7,000. Have a great day.